Anmol Chandwani, the founder of Circle Design. We are established since 2018 now, and our practice mainly revolves around a lot of intuitive work, intuitive design styles. We do very, minimal, contemporary, clean level of work, and basically we are building and we are settled in Ahmedabad. My personal, connection with art mainly comes with, how intuitive and how creative the processes are, of course, because when we relate and when we connect all of this to design, a process really gets saturated. When it comes to client interaction, when it comes to turning a design, actually bringing it to reality, and wherein art is just more of flow, more of life. When an artist actually goes out there and they start with just one brush and they are ready to put the world out there through their vision, through what is going on in their head. So I mean, that connection is somewhere intriguing, and that is what we try to implement on design every day. Like every day when I start with a sketch on my iPad, it is just a rigorous process to sort of get something new, bring life onto something. But yeah, I do feel that sometimes that gets sort of disconnected when it when we are dealing with the clientele end, and when all our designs sort of get manipulated. Wherein art has no limits. You are just putting in life to a canvas on how you are starting and how you're building, and how it just flows. So yes, I mean, that is where I draw my inspiration from personally, and that is what helps me start afresh every day. I would not really call art just an accessory. I think it is beyond. Even from what I have experienced and seen here today, I think it comes from a deeper sense, from a deeper meaning. And I think only us as designers, we understand what value it comes with, So when I talk about, oh, this wall is too empty and, let's just add something to it, I would, go ahead and look at various artworks and various artists, and even sort of encourage the clients to bring that in frame and have a look at the wall, So yes, it is not just an accessory for sure. I think if someone goes to the detail, to the T of where and how an artist really starts doing the artwork, they would realize the amount of effort that goes behind it, and they would value it higher, of course. So yes, it is not just an accessory. It is just adding meaning, adding soul to a wall is what I call it. I think how we do material selections and we are picking, I think I'm very fond of doing, design in a way where every element that we put in a space has to be like an artwork, whether we are taking the stone counters or whether we are doing anything. So when it comes to picking up art, especially, yes, the wall behind, the way it is, treated, the way the entire house, the feeling of the entire house. So we try to connect that and bring in client also in that picture where they can sort of have an emotion, because I feel a house always sort of brings an emotion together. It's not just a space. So like how we deal with a space is how we deal with an artwork also, while we are bringing it into the space, because I know how it adds value to a space that we are looking at, which is okay, empty, blank, but yeah, there's something missing, as and when that hits me, we go ahead and we do the selections. But of course, with the design language that I follow, I do not put anything that is bright or anything that is, going way too out of proportion. So when we are also picking and doing our selections with that, we are sort of saying that, okay, it has to stand out in terms of an artwork, but not so much that it is, coming on your eye. That is always the approach from my end, that, yeah, you play with textures, you play with monochromes, you play with shades, but as much as is, sort of required, not more than that. And yeah, as the art, the artist pours all the soul inside the artwork, we do have a little line where we say that, okay, this is not too much, or this is just perfect for the wall. So we walk the client through the same, and we try to make them understand the whole process, and then we do our final selections. I really think that now they have started to value art more than ever. Of course, 5-7 years down the line, when we used to even struggle as, they used to struggle bringing an interior designer on board. The times have changed. Of course, they value art. Not so much, I would say. We are still getting there. We are still in process, to be very honest. But yes, they value it. They do understand the importance, the effort that goes behind it. Of course, when we, even in terms of the price aspect, it's not like, oh, it's now just a painting. Okay, isme kya hai? It's not like that. At least that mindset, is like a great start, I would say, to the evolution of artists coming into pictures in all the cities, where they're starting to, hold a value. It holds an importance. They know, okay, there are exhibitions happening. There's a lot of awareness all of a sudden that I see popping up in the town, where, little steps also that every person is taking to, make the art stand out. It does hit, it does come to the client also that, oh yeah, like art is something. So they've come there, of course, and I'm sure it will reach a point wherein they will realize and value it higher in a space, and will not have to say that, oh, why are we putting an artwork here, Absolutely. I think it brings in some positivity. It does bring in a lot of energy in a space. Of course, the approach of selection with commercial and residential is completely different for us. Wherein with residents, I don't think, we are okay to even go all out when it comes to picking an artwork. It's their home. But when I actually talk about the energy, yes, there is a shift, there is a transition. As I said, with every piece that you're putting in, it does change something, which I firmly believe in, that it adds and gets a lot of positivity in a house. But yeah, in terms of selections, commercial spaces would be more I think, geometric artworks for me. Not random strokes. Again, that would be very much like a personal approach that I would want to put out. And wherein, if we are talking about a house, we are okay exploring to any extent, getting a little, if a wall's dull, maybe getting a splash of color, a pop of it, and adding such artworks to the space. No, I personally wouldn't have, of course. But for picking all the artworks, we usually take the clients to Bombay. Couple of galleries, they have been my favorites. And we do have 079 spaces here where, of course, we go and we pick a lot of artworks from there. This will be my next, of course. In terms of all the art that I have seen here, I think it is very, very impressive. And I think we lack a space where actually we can just go all out and, get the art, promote all the artists further. But yes, I don't have a huge collection. Probably, I hope that sooner or later I will have some in my own house. Absolutely. I mean, art does hold, the way we look at art, the value and importance that it holds, I think more shows around that, wherein all the artists are displayed here. Having shows where you're inviting designers are getting their clients, designers are getting anyone or everyone from the fraternity around, and that would add more importance. Of course, as I said, that it's a small start, but it does bring in a lot of awareness. So I would say that promoting it not just on social media, but going around and actually having walk-ins, just having shows for people to see, you know, so that they start to hold higher importance onto how these artists are actually coming in. Also having, you know, people who can walk them around and who can show them, okay, that how have they actually come down to achieving what they have achieved. Because I don't see people don't really see the you know, process that is behind the canvas. Okay, so I just feel that if, you know, that is shown, the value of it automatically, you know, sort of goes higher, and they would be more than happy to put it in their space.